YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another spilling the NXT. I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say NXT review, not review. The thing I was gonna say, but I was gonna say another episode of spilling the NXT. Oh man, we could just do another episode of spilling the NXT where I talk about NXT and spill it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. As always, I got my handy dandy notebook. And I always like to try new things with this. And starting maybe Monday, I'm gonna try maybe like a top 5 or a top 10. Talk about things that are like the top 5 or 10 or whatever. The good things about NXT, and then the bad things about NXT. Maybe I might give like a couple of mentions and stuff like that, but I might start doing that. I kind of want to keep it short and sweet a lot with the shows. Um, I'll see how I want to do that. I do it with NXT a lot. I just point out like what I or NXT UK. I don't really talk about NXT UK because not a lot of people do it. Like if I do talk about NXT UK, I talk about it on here. But yeah, there's a lot to like, and it's also because there's like a lot of story like stuff that goes on in NXT that Triple H does. Like for example, the women's division. I'm going to talk about that last because the women's division is just top tier. But like everything about like the women's division, like how you got stories intertwining with each other. Uh, they got that stuff going on. You got like with Finn Balor, you got like you got the main title scene going on. You got some tag team scene stuff like that. So I'm going to figure out a way to do that, and I'll try to do it with this. We'll see what happens, but we'll open up with what happened with Finn Balor. He came out and said, "Hey, Takeover is over. Takeover is over." Like I did that. Takeover is finished, and he pretty much wants a new challenger, and he has like 3 of them. Pete Dunne, yes, Pete Dunne, Finn Balor, beautiful. We like all of those. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes out, and it was like Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly rematch, Pete Dunne, Finn Balor rematch. Yes, we like those. And then Damian Priest comes out. I was like, okay, I like this. Damian Priest, he gets himself away from the NXT North American Championship. He inserts himself in the main title, which I like. Him versus Pete Dunne. Okay, we like those. Him versus Kyle O'Reilly. Okay, we like those too. And then him versus Finn Balor. Yes, we like all of those. And then Scarlett Bordeaux comes out. I was like, oh, Karrion Kross is back already. I was like, oh, Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor. Yes, yes, give me every single one of those. And then Damian Priest comes out, or well, Damian Priest was like, hey, uh, is your man going to do all the bidding for you? Huh? Huh? You gonna do all that bidding for you? Yeah. How about you tell him next time he wants to be a man and come face me himself? Yup. Scarlett Bordeaux was like, oh, all right, I respect it. I respect it. And then I guess since we're on that subject, um, he comes out, and this is why I thought I was like, they're completely done with the story. They're gonna bring him over to the to the main title scene, and then Johnny Gargano comes out with his people. First of all, Johnny Gargano is the literal best. Him and Candice LeRae are the greatest. I love them to death. And then they come out with Austin Theory and Indy Hartwell. I love the dynamic that they have there. Like Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae is like this veteran couple, like these people who are like very the way they are. They're like very boastful and they're proud and stuff like that. And they have these like young apprentices who are like these puppy eyed apprentices who like they're into it. It's like, yeah, we love these guys, and they're like their role models and stuff like that, and it fits well for them. It was like, yeah, of course we're the best. It's like, aren't we great? And they're just like, yeah, you're great, you're the best. We love you. I love that. That's so great. So they're now called the Way. I guess that's their new group name. I guess if they ever need any more Ghostface Killers. If they want to do any of that, they'll probably add more if they want because they have like 25,000 Ghostface Killers. So if they ever wanted to bring in like the Radicals, or if they ever want to bring in whoever they want from the Performance Center, they can easily do that whenever they want. But they were saying that they're having a match with Damian Priest and Leon Ruff next week. He's like, they can't get a handle. They still want some more of us. And I was like, oh, they're still doing this though, but Damian Priest just wanted. Maybe he might end it with them, and then like when she's done with them, he's like, all right, you're on your own, kid. I'm on to bigger and better things. And then Damian Priest comes out. He was like, hey, Johnny Gargano, 3-time North American champion. We happy for you. We happy for you. Austin Theory beat me with a lead pipe. Hey, that's good. Hey, you got that pipe on you because I'm gonna shove it up your ass. He comes in there and then boom, Karrion Kross attacks him, whoops that ass, power bombs, and then leaves. And everybody's booing him. I was like, why are they booing Karrion Kross? I was like, all he's doing is defending his honor. My boy Damien Priest is the one who was running his mouth at Scarlett Bordeaux. First of all, Scarlett wasn't even talking about Damian Priest, wasn't even on Damian Priest, wasn't even in Damian Priest's direction. Where's Damian Priest's title? Damian Priest ain't got no titles around his waist. No. She was talking Finn Balor, and then Damian Priest opened his mouth and Damian Priest got his ass beat. That's what he get. But this is gonna be a uh so now they have Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross, so now they don't have Damian, and this is what I like about this now. That they got their main event scene in there. They got uh they got the Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Karrion Kross, and they have my boy Damian Priest. They have Damian Priest and Karrion Kross with each other, and then they're gonna have Pete Dunne, uh, my boy Kyle O'Reilly, and Finn Balor. They're gonna have that. They're gonna be in that third, that the top tier, while Damian Priest and Karrion Kross get their feud over, and then when either maybe Finn Balor is done with them, whoever wins out of that, either Finn Balor or Pete Dunne, it's gonna be one of those two who's gonna end up with that title, and then they're probably gonna get Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor, which is gonna be great. That's gonna be fantastic when that happens. But and then they're gonna do Kyle O'Reilly, and so I guess they still got a couple more stuff with Undisputed Era. I think what's his face is injured. Bobby Fish is injured, so they might do Adam Cole and Roderick Strong tag team because they did Roddy and Kyle. They did Roddy and Kyle. They did Roddy and uh, Fish for a little bit. Fish for a little bit. Of course, they did Fish and O'Reilly. They did Cole and O'Reilly for that, like for the couple of times that they did it before Roddy joined in. So now Adam Cole and Roddy Strong, that tag team could be fun. And they still need more tag teams in the division. So that's going to be good for the more tag teams in that division. So that whole thing was great. I like the thing with Killian Dane. I like how he got in the mix. He beat up Pete Dunne, and then they had a match. Their chemistry was fantastic. This was probably Killian Dane's best match ever. I want to say ever. Yeah, I'm gonna say ever. But of course, Pete Dunne is the best, so of course he's gonna be great. They worked really well together. A lot of pump kicks, a lot of power bombs. Killian Dane was showing his grit. But in the end, Pete Dunne gets distraction off of 1-2 Punch, who Drake Maverick, like he gets a chair and he like shoots him away, and then Drake Maverick is like, "Yeah, I got him, killing this," but no, they're gonna come back. He's like, "What? They're gonna come." Boom, they attack him, and then Killian Dane attacks him. He gets in the ring, kicks the ropes, I think, hits him with a bitter end. They win, or he wins. So now you got 1-2 Punch. Now you got Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. You're still gonna have the Undisputed Era, who's still gonna have their things with them, and then you have that main tag team thing going on, and then you got Everrise, you got Imperium, and you got Grizzled Young Vets. Uh, Everrise, I love Everrise. I love the match that they had, this triple threat match. Pretty much, it was just like Imperium versus Grizzled Young Vets featuring Everrise, who was just there getting their little sneaky, getting in little sneaky ways, which is good. That's how they should be presented. That's what I like. They're not at the level of Imperium or Grizzled Young Vets, but they're sneaky enough to find their different ways to get in that mix and get in that get their stuff in, which I thought was great. I love Imperium's their little thing where they do with the term they have the guys in the middle rope and they do the running drop kick, double drop kick thing. That's fantastic. I love that. Um, this is a little weird that they all play like they're all heels, and yet it feels like grizzled vets are sorta in the babyface territory. They're kind of leaning in the babyface territory with them, but they're still technically considered heels. Imperium gets cheered because they're Imperium. They're clearly bad guys, but they're loved so much. Seems like Everrise were like the real biggest the heels, real heels in this. Grizzled vets were heels and Imperium heels, but they all mesh well together. Even as three different heels, their dynamic is really really good. So I loved all of that. This is clearly just leading to Grizzled Young Vets versus Imperium proper one on one, and then I'm guessing whoever wins that Grizzled Young Veterans is going to be in that main tag team title scene. They might get Imperium with like Ever. They might mix Imperium with Everrise. They may have a little bit more stuff to do with. They might bring Breezango back with Imperium. They might do something with that. There's still a lot because I think maybe Breezango probably still has some beef with 1-2 Punch too. So like that tag team division right now is lit. And NXT UK just got back Tyler Bates, so they might have so NXT UK might pick up Mustache Mountain. So with Mustache Mountain there, with Gallus in the hunt and Mark Andrews, whatever his face is, Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster, Ashton Smith, and his person, Pretty Deadly. That's six tag teams that's really solid, and they probably have another one that I don't remember. But now you got Imperium, you got Grizzled Vets, you still got Breezango, you have Undisputed Era still, you got 1-2 Punch, you have Everrise, who's killing it. You got Legado de Fantasma, who's still there, and you have that other team that I didn't Imperium. So you have 8 teams on NXT. Their NXT, their tag division is now officially up there. Their tag division is now up there. It's stacked now. But yeah, that tag team division is crazy. Um, So there's a lot of story and stuff that they could do with that in that tag team scene, but somehow is still inferior to the women's division. The women's division is still magnifique. Before we get into that, there's still a couple more things. Um, Jake Atlas, and so this is a little weird. So the cruiserweight division right now in NXT is not the best, and it's just because the NXT, well, it's because the 205 live division right now is non-existent. It's kind of unfortunate because I like everybody in the cruiserweight division, but there's only like 6 of them. And there's only 3 of them whose like main stage is in NXT, and that's the NXT champion and Swerve and Jake Atlas. Jake Atlas and Swerve has already multiple times, like 101 million times, faced Escobar and lost multiple times. So it's cool that Swerve, who was really aggressive in his match against Jake Atlas, it's cool that him and Jake Atlas has this little side thing going on, and they both want to be cruiserweight champion. But it's like, but you're just gonna still lose. So The only thing would be is if somebody else becomes cruiserweight champion. My guess, who I want to still who should be cruiserweight champion is Leon Ruff. I know he's gonna have his thing with Gargano, and I still like that they're gonna have Gargano or they still have Leon Ruff in that mix for now. But now that you got Kushida in there, I think it's gonna be Kushida and Johnny Gargano. Which yes, please, Kushida, yes, we like all of those. So I would say maybe like whatever happens after the tag team match next week, maybe Leon Ruff gets like another shot at his NXT North American Championship. Then Gargano finally overcomes his losing streak of defending titles. He wins that, and then maybe he does that at Takeover or not Takeover, New Year's Evil, and then maybe at Takeover, the next Takeover, maybe he gets a couple more wins under his belt, and then maybe him and Kushida had that title match. Maybe he loses because there's a million one Ghostface killers. And maybe they have another rematch at another Takeover pay per view or some big special pay per view, and Kushida wins. But I'm gonna enjoy the Gargano Kushida feud because that's gonna be great. And you put Leon Ruff in that cruiserweight championship title picture. He put him in there because he's still loved. Everybody still loves him. And then that's when you can like start adding like to Jake Atlas, um, Kurt Stallion, who's fantastic. I hope they show him in NXT because he's really good. Then you get like a mean murderer Swerve Scott. You get him in there, and then it gets a little more fresh. But the fact that you only got three people in that, and it's crazy because like Raw and SmackDown has so many great cruiserweight. You still got Ali, you got Cedric, you got Drew Gulak, you got um, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio. I know Rey Mysterio is way over the cruiserweight title, but I just throw it out there. Xavier Woods is 205 pounds, I think. Like there's so many things you could do with the cruiserweight championship. You could have them go to Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live. You can have this do that. For whatever reason, they're not doing it. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But I like Mean Swerve Scott. This match wasn't long, but of course, this is leading probably to the New Year's Evil match where they're probably going to have a longer match where Swerve gets that victory, which is going to be great because Swerve is the best. You know, Swerve could be in the hurt business, and you know I wouldn't be mad about it. I'm just saying, that's still out there. Swerve Scott in the hurt business. Put him and Cedric Alexander as a tag team. You put my boy Shelton in the U.S. title picture, and put Bobby Lashley in the big title picture in the heavyweight WWE championship picture. I like that. That sounds like a great idea. Um, then they had the casualties. Let me see if I do anything else. Pete Dunne. Oh yeah, Tommaso Ciampa and Cameron Grimes. They had a match. Tommaso Ciampa did like a thing where he pretty much was like, uh, I don't even remember. He talked about Cameron Grimes, who said that he's very loud, and maybe his loudness gets maybe his loudness is confidence, and maybe his insecurity. Gonna figure out which one it is tonight. They have a match, a very good match. Timothy Thatcher just sits out there, kind of like how Tommaso Ciampa did twice. He's sitting out there, they're doing some things. He throws Cameron Grimes out the thingy thing, out the ring. That's what they call it. They don't call it thingy thing. They call it rings actually. And then he was gonna go after him. Cameron Grimes like hides behind Timothy Thatcher, who just stands there. Cameron Grimes tries to take advantage. No, no, no. A lot of back and forth. He hits the collision course. That collision course when he does the Spanish fly. They call it a different name. I think they call it meet in the middle. I think that's what they call it. I think TNA calls it the collision course, but in NXT they call it the meet in the middle, which is a decent name, but it's longer. So I'm going to continue saying collision course. Um, he does that. Rust, the Champa, not Champa, Thatcher's like little buddy guy. He tries to get in the ring. He tries to, and Tommaso Ciampa sees it. He's trying to hit his Widow's Bell. Cameron Grimes tries to hit like he distracts him, tries to hit the cave in. Tommaso Ciampa's like, nah. He gets out the ring. He gets back in the ring. Cameron Grimes follows him. Boom! Widow's Bell for the Uno and a Doso in a 3. And he wins. Distraction from Timothy Thatcher did not work, even though the distraction of Tommaso Ciampa worked on him. So, and then they stare at each other, whatever like that. It's like, hey, Leslie, try to get your boy. Don't be trying that. And Timothy Thatcher's like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't make him do that. And then he leaves, like, yeah, whatever. Cameron Grimes tries to get in his face, and then Timothy Thatcher beats up Cameron Grimes. So I'm guessing next week they're gonna have Timothy Thatcher versus Cameron Grimes, and Cameron Grimes again gonna lose because he does. But I would expect maybe Tampa versus Thatcher rematch at New Year's Evil because it's not technically a takeover match. So, but it's one of their big matches, but it's not a takeover match. So Timothy Thatcher could win, and it would be okay. Um, and then the final thing before I get into the women's division is Xia Li and Boa gets murdered, pretty much. Like Xia Li's doing the the fist things with the boards. Her hands are bleeding. She's got the CM Punk tape on. Boa's getting beat with candlesticks in the back and the face, like he's bleeding all over the face. And the master guy doesn't care. He's like, keep beating him up. And they're like, I'm crying. They're like, fuck crying. Get beat up. That's what that is. So however that works, that was gonna be great. So final thing, the women's division, Fire Flames. Um, they had this Casualties of War Games thing where pretty much everybody from War Games talked about their experience of the war, and they were talking, and pretty much they were as they were talking about how people got injured, how bodies laid everywhere, and people broke their fingers and their ribs and their arms. How you don't get out the same, and just a bunch of stuff. Dakota Kai was pretty much saying that, just because of War Games, now I'm injured because of Ember Moon, which is why she's having her match with Raquel Gonzalez. Um, Raquel was talking about beating Io Shirai, pinning Io Shirai. Cannon was saying, hey, Shanti might have gotten the best of me with the thing that she did, but my team still ended up victorious. Shanti said it doesn't matter. I left a piece of her. Um, and that was pretty much the biggest part of that. That was overall for the women's side. The men's side, the ribs of Bobby Fish, of course, are broken because his body's always been broken. The neck brace for Pat McAfee is not a real thing, but it's a thing. Um, I think Oni Lorcan got like a black eye. He's messed up. Not Tommaso Ciampa. Pete Dunne, I think he also has like a black eye. His like whole body is bruised up. So I mean, out of everybody, Adam Cole looked like he came in like the best position. He looked like he was perfectly fine. He was just in there. He was talking about like, yeah, everybody got beat up. I'm good. Adam Cole, baby. So that was hilarious. So what I like about that is it kind of sets up what they still have in store for each other. They still have the Pat McAfee Undisputed Era thing. They got Pat. They still got for like the women's division, and we saw this tonight. Uh, Everybody wants everything. Like now the focus is on championships. The Io Shirai is champion. That's what they're focused on. Toni Storm, as I've been saying before, she said that Ember Moon pretty much stole her thunder. She said she was the wrong place at the wrong time. Ember Moon stole her thunder. It was about her, and everybody kept talking about Ember Moon. Ember Moon. I made my debut. I made my return first, and then Ember Moon just waltzes in here, and she got what she got coming for her. And she was like, I don't care about her. I got my eyes on her, but I also want to be NXT Women's Champion. Io Shirai comes out, and she was like, hey, I ain't got nothing against you. I just don't like you. They beat each other up. Boom, boom, boom. Go to the outside of the ring. Io Shirai, boom, uppercutty, cut. She goes to the top rope. Toni Storm tries to get in there, tries to get out of there. Ember Moon, boom, attacks Toni Storm. Throws her back in the ring. Moon salt to Toni Storm. And then main event, Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon. Uh, Raquel was made to look like the beast she is. Ember Moon in kayfabe is probably the best woman in NXT and probably should be like Finn Balor right now. She should be out here winning all the matches. She probably should be NXT Women's Champion. But putting somebody over, Charlotte Flair, this is how you do it. You make people look strong. You go to NXT, you make people look good. She made Dakota Kai look good, even though she really didn't have to, and she shouldn't have. But she's the best, so she put her over. She put over Raquel Gonzalez over. She put over Strength. He was bumping all over the place. Her her comeback is amazing. Uh, she's just great, and now that she added her aggression to the whole thing, yeah, Ember Moon is the total package. So now this leads, and then Raquel Gonzalez wins. She tries to do Ember Moon like tried to hit her eclipse, but like Raquel like caught her in midair, tried to do a powerbomb thing, but she reversed that to like I think like a pinning combination, and then she picks up and hit her with another one. And then Tony Storm comes back out. She's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna beat you up for what you did to me earlier." This is my brutality. Rhea Ripley comes out, and then Tony Storm's ah! She was like, okay, I got you. And then Raquel steps up because Raquel and Rhea hate each other. So this leads to a lot of things. Io versus Tony Storm, Tony Storm versus Ember Moon, Tony Storm versus Raquel Gonzalez, or Tony Storm versus Rhea Ripley, Ember Moon versus Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez rematch with Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai, Candice LeRae versus Chauncey Blackheart, Ember Moon probably versus Rhea Ripley because right now they're friends, but they're going to eventually want one thing, NXT Women's Championship. So they gotta have to fight each other, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna love every part of it. So my guess would be, so my assumption would be New Year's Evil. I can see, ooh, oofy. I don't know if there would be a triple threat match because I would think that my initial thought would be Rhea Ripley versus almost said Tony Storm. Rhea Ripley versus maybe Tony Storm. Maybe Tony Storm versus Ember Moon. Um, I or you know what, they might do like Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. They might do Tony Storm. See, it depends. It depends on what they do. So I think right now they're focused on Raquel Gonzalez. So they'll probably have Raquel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai. And then they'll probably have Tony Storm versus Rhea Ripley versus Ember Moon, probably a number one contenders match for the NXT Championship. So Io would probably win that, and then they'll probably do Tony Storm versus Io Shirai at Takeover, and then they'll probably do Rhea Ripley versus Ember Moon at Takeover, and then Ember Moon goes over on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley probably finally forever goes to main roster. Maybe Tony Storm wins that NXT Women's Championship from Io Shirai. Maybe Io Shirai can also go to the main roster. And then they'll have probably Io versus Ember because they'll probably want that. And then Tony will go on to do she still got Chauncey Blackheart. Um, she'll have maybe Tegan Knox will come back. Maybe Candice LeRae will probably try to get in there. Dakota Kai, Raquel. There'll be a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the women's division. And I love all of it. The women's division is for NXT is probably my favorite division, followed by now the tag team division. Their tag team division is really good now. But yeah, that was the show. The show was great. I enjoyed everything. Um, the matches were good. The opening segment, Finn Balor has like a million challengers. That's good stuff. Um, they're going to do Priest versus Karrion Kross. They're adding Kushida to the North American Championship stuff. The triple threat tag team match was fantastic. Ciampa versus Grimes was really good. Um, Garganos are the best. I love them so much. Pete Dunne versus Killian Dane was really good, and the main event was really good. And then next week they have Leon Ruff and Kushida versus The Way next week. Yeah, I would give NXT about a B plus A minus. It was good. But what you guys think? Let me know. I'll see you next time.